give us a little bit of like insight into a few different body mechanics in jiu-jitsu that are gonna kind of come through in some of these things. So one of the ones is using my hook correctly in no gi and in the gi, but this reverse de la riva hook, I learned that I was using it wrong for the longest time. Okay, so I want to be making a connection with like the top of Tim's thigh with my toes. What that's doing is it's letting me stretch his leg out and take weight off of his knee, even almost take his foot off the ground. What's nice about this too is like, I think this is a part that we skip a lot in playing reverse de la riva, is the hand on the leg. Okay, and once I have that connection with my hand on the leg, I'm looking to get even closer. So if I'm using my hand, I'm at the furthest distance that I can be. If I get to my elbow, now I'm a lot closer. Yeah, I just pulled myself in another rung on the ladder. And remember, I'm trying to make sure that I'm hiding my foot, so I'm hooking his hip and pinching my knee inside. I'm not trying to throw my leg like this because I'm going to get stacked and even get my own back taken that way. So I'm hooking his hip, pinching my knee, and I'm really not moving him that much. I'm more pulling myself underneath. Okay, and so actually, so let's have you go down to the knee. This is actually better demonstrated when somebody's on their knee rather than standing. When they're standing in no-gi, it can be hard to reach up for the hips, but this is when it's most common to get to the hips, is when you're here. And when I get to my elbow, I start to roll underneath, and I start to take his foot off the ground by using my elbow. This is where it starts to get wonky when you're used to doing this in the gi. You start thinking about how you're going to start climbing to the back in no-gi. And what I want to do when I do this is when I start putting in my crab ride hooks, so I lift using kind of both of my hooks here, and I'm kind of pushing on Tim with my left foot so he can't turn and face me right in the armpit. And I put my hook in first. Now, I'm not going to let his foot touch the ground. That's the main detail with this hook, is that I don't let his foot touch the ground. When I start to slide my other hook in, I first reach and cup the front of his hip, and then I reach and I cup the front of his hip on the other side. Now when I start to stretch this hook, I keep stretching all the way down to his ankle so he does like a baseball slide. And that's how he can't turn to face me, so let's move this way a little bit. So when he lands like this, he can't turn to face me because my knee is pinching on his hip, because I had my hook all the way down on his ankle as he slid. If I would have had my hook behind his knee, then he would have ended up on top of my knee turning into me, like his hip would be over the top of my knee. So now, because I had the hips and I'm here, I was cupping. Now I can start to grab a tight waist and put in my seat belt, or I could start climbing to my backpack, to my top seat belt. So the main thing that I think